movers and particle emitters. Hopefully a lot of you have, investigated it and looked at what some of the options are. Why don't you all go to your lot, and I'm going to just quickly right click and I'm going to share my screen. So everybody go to your lot. Here is the lot that I'm working on, and I'm going to look at this particle emitter and just show you just a few things that you can change. When you look at the particle emitters, first of all, you got to change it. Right now it's set for particle type sprite, and I'm just going to quickly change it to model because I'm going to use an object name now in here. And I'm just going to use cat. There's that little cat thing. Now I'm going to close this just to show you what else can happen. So now my fire still has all the timing that it has in it and how it works, but now it's showing a cat. So you can actually put an object in your particle emitter if you want to make something, kind of crazy and goofy and fun. So I really just wanted to point out that particle emitters usually use some kind of a texture, and you can see it in that asset list box. But you can also use models. You just have to change the particle type to model, sort of like what you have to do when you're saving movers and particle emitters. You got to change them to movers when you put them in your lot. The thing I wanted to show you on movers is kind of the same thing, except movers you have to use a model. You can't use texture. But as you can see, I'm using this CD car 0099 like a lot of you guys. It's the example I've got over there in the building school. And you can change it to something else. I'm gonna change it to, I know there is a car 0100. So I'm gonna change that. It's in the model. Just right click another object first, and then you can see the blue M. And now I'm just gonna close this. Okay. So now you can see here's, somebody just jumped in it. So, you really only have to change the model name on your mover to make it something else. Sometimes you won't point the right way, so you'll have to, here, I'll quickly show you. You'll have to go to locked yaw. Yaw is the Y arrow that points up and down, and you'll have to click lock av yaw, and you'll have to change this. Whatever's in here, you'll have to change it to either 90, 180, or 270, or 0, because sometimes the Z doesn't point in the right direction. So that's really all I wanted to show you guys. You're welcome to put one on your other lot, or even here for now, and experiment with it. That's the only way you're going to discover, because there's so many options, so many combinations of options. We can't possibly teach it all in class, even if we were here for a year probably. So you just have to explore, change different things, get one on your lot that works, and then change the options and see what changes. And you get a feel for how these things work. So anyway, I just want to review that. Now we're going to do our week 6 class, lesson for week 6. Because I've been wanting your guys' lots in here to stay cumulative, to keep adding on to what we've been doing from one class to the next and not deleting anything, we're going to do this class with fresh lots. So I didn't put any names up or anything, but what I want you guys to do is come on over here to this part of this emptier part of the lots. You see me flying around over here, and just pick a lot, and we're going to do what we call the Lightroom lesson today. And mostly what you're going to find out is, how to copy and paste model names and the action that are in a working setup, and then go back to your fresh lot here and place the objects and place all of the action that are in the objects. And I've got signs set up that tells you what's actually in each object. So it's going to be an exercise in learning how to figure out the objects and get the right names. I just went behind the stone wall. If you want to join me, you can come over here, but I'm right here next to this little box called the Light Demo Programming. So either join me or come down here so I know you all guys can see it. Everything you need to do to make this work for this lesson today are in these signs, the instructions to do what you need to do. So what we want you to do on your fresh lot is to put 4 of these PP24Ms. If you right-click the panel, the wood panel, it's called a PP24M. And I'm going to show everybody, I'm going to do one more screen share just so you guys got a good idea of what I'm talking about here. So I've right-clicked on this model and you'll see it's a PP24M. Now you can just do a left click in here and hold it down and highlight that name and then just right click on it and then choose copy. Right click and put 4 PP24Ms in a perfect square on your lot. Use the pole, right click on it, and then when you duplicate it the first time, then just click it. Trying to think, these are 8 clicks wide, so you have to click it another 7 to get it on one edge. Then copy that, line it back up, and then click it. I said 8, yeah, from the center. And then click it 16 the other way, and then you've got 2 side by side. I'm going to move my roof so I can see. So you'll have 2 side by side, and you remember how we did that when we did this. You right click one and then hold down shift and right click the other one, and you got them both. Once you've got 2 side by side, then just duplicate it and then make sure you move it forward so it's back lined up. You got 2 copied, and then use the turn right or left and click it 6 times, and you've got your other 2 walls perfectly aligned, and then just close the box. So make a good box on your fresh lot, 4 walls. Make sure that you use, if anything seems to get out of line or crooked, you can always use the reset rotation to get it at least lined up either north, south, or east, west. That's it. I'm not going to share anymore. It's too laggy. So get that box set up. And then after that, while you guys are doing that, after that, we're going to put a zone inside, how dark the light is inside, and then we're going to put a couple of special light switches inside there and on an interior wall, and they're going to be, you're probably going to want to leave the pole in the center too, so. Try to make sure that your walls are evenly spaced away from the outer edge. They should fill in with a little bit of the dark grass showing out of each edge. all this programming that are going to be in the switches and the other things that we put in this room, you'll get a good idea of how we can combine different commands into single triggers, so they do certain things for. So you're going to want to click them apart. Make sure they're about at least your second wall is about 8 clicks away from the original wall, and then just move your original wall then 8 clicks the other way, and they should be 16 clicks apart then, which are 8 meters. There you go.
Okay.
And then the other ones, looks like the other one needs to be clicked the other way a few clicks, so we can. Okay, I see lots of rooms. By the way, too, like I said, my internet is once again decided to start dropping out about 20 minutes before class, so I might disappear again, but let's hope not. I probably should stand still. I shouldn't keep flying around like this and looking at stuff. Any problems or questions, just let me know. So, you're probably not going to want to texture these either. We need the dark wood texture to show to help the environment inside the
Can I use a dark colored texture?
Yeah, if you want, that's fine.
I normally use metal cross brace.
That's fine. That's fine. As long as it's dark, all you guys have got these light colored textures on your boxes, and it's not going to look right inside. You won't see the effect as well. And you don't want to make it black either, because you won't be able to see inside at all. You just what you should really do is just use the PP24M without any texture at all, and then we won't have to go through this. This isn't, a demonstration class. This is, you're just learning how to do this stuff. So, save all your texturing and stuff for your builds on your lot in Logos. Tell you what, Daryl, I'm just going to go ahead and fix this for you really quick. You've got a lot of things that are rotated out of line and stuff anyway.
Yeah, do you want to delete what's there, Scott? And I'm moving one over into his lot. Just delete what he's got there.
So we got to get going, Daryl.
Thanks. Okay. There we go.
All right. So now that everybody's got a room,
Thanks, guys.
let's go back over here to the light room demo, the light demo. And now what we're going to do next is we need to make it dark inside. We need to make the light dark inside. So we're going to put a zone inside of your box. And if you lined it up properly and left the pole in the center, because it's really handy to keep your pole in the center, you can just duplicate your pole, and then just like you do with movers and particle emitters, you go up to the type, change it to zone. Now come over here and look at these signs, because everything you need to know is in these 3 signs. And if you just do what these signs have in them, you'll be able to get these objects and the zones and stuff in your box. So for the zone object, I don't know how many of you guys are standing by me and seeing what I'm doing right now, but for the zone object, you need to duplicate your pole, and then go up to, I think I'll share my screen because it sounds too complicated when I try to talk it through. So let me just show you real quick. So to make a zone, just click any object first and then duplicate it. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to pull it out here. Just click it out here a few clicks. Now I'm going to go up here to type, And just like with mover and particle emitter, I'm going to click this and I'm going to make it into a zone. And then if you remember, let me move this over. If you look on here, it even gives you the settings you're supposed to put in the zone. X should be 8, Y should be 4, Z should be 8. So right down here, there's X, Y, and Z right here. You just want to change this to 8, change Y to 4, and change Z to 8. And then it also says with block world light enabled, so there's an option, there's a few little options down here. Block world light, we want to click on that, because we want to block the light coming in. And then we're going to make it a color, a dark color, because if we leave the color of the light in the zone white, it won't be dark. So you have to click the little color box here. And I'll choose this medium gray. This is usually what I use, this medium gray. So then click OK, and now you got your medium gray inside this. Now you can just close, and now you'll see I've right-clicked, and you can see that I've got this zone. You can see its darkness right here. I'm going to move it up, because the zone actually has to be up 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 meters, so it fills the inside of your box. And then release it. Now watch when I walk inside the zone. Oh, well, the problem is it doesn't have walls around it. You can see how the zone works when I walk inside here. Watch. See, it gets dark. So that zone would do this if it was inside your walls. Yes. So let me walk through. Okay, you can see now it's dark when you walk into my zone. Zones are invisible, unless you're in them, and then you'll see the color of them and that sort of thing. Duplicate your pole, use the type to change it to a zone, and then put those numbers in the X, Y, and Z boxes, 8 in X, 4 in Y, 8 in Z, and then check the block world light option, and then make that color square gray. And once you've done that, the interior of your room will be dark. It'll be dark. You got to make sure you get that in the center. Some of you guys have some of your walls a little bit off. In fact, a lot of them you got them off. Some of them are overlapped.
What was the setting?
But
write it
over
down.
here in this sign, the setting over here is X equals 8, and then Y equals 4, and Z equals 8. That means 8 meters wide, 8 meters forward and back, and 4 meters tall. And that is what your box is. So does everybody know what they're doing about making a zone inside of their box? Okay, Ashley, what is it you don't understand? To start with, you go in the middle of your room and you duplicate the pole. Okay, so right-click on the pole and duplicate it, and then bring it back so it's even with the original pole, like you should always do whenever you duplicate something. And then up at the top of that pop-up box of your duplicated pole, it says Type. You want to use the little menu to change it to a zone. Okay, now you got the little boxes that are farther down on the pop-up box on the zone, and there's one says size X, size Y, and size Z. So you're going to make the Y, the X, the Y, and the Z directions, you're going to make that zone bigger. So you're going to make X, size X should have 8 in it, size Y should have 4, and size Z should have 8.
Scott, you also want the blocked light?
Correct. I
option?
haven't gotten to that yet.
Okay, sorry.
So once you have those 3 numbers in, then down at the bottom, a little farther down, there's some check boxes for options, and you want to check the box that says block world light. And then once you've done that, there's one more thing. If you scroll down a little bit farther, there's a color square. It says color, and then there's like a little bit bigger square next to it. Click in that white square, and you'll get that little color picker deal thing you can get, like when you do other things. And choose the medium gray. It's along the bottom. It's right about in the middle of the medium gray color in the little choosing buttons there. And then once that's done, then just go up and close the pop-up box with the X, and your zone should be right in the middle of your room, and it should be dark. Now, one more thing you want to do with this zone, I forgot to tell you, you're going to want to go inside, right-click a wall, right-click the green Z, and click it up 4 clicks, because it's 2 meters too low right now if it's right on the ground. It needs to be 4 clicks up. And then that way it fills up your entire room. Sorry about that. I forgot to tell you that.
Scott, to be
Looks
in the
like-
center, should
Yes?
the Z for the zone be kind of intersecting the pole? Would that be a good way of making sure it's centered?
Yeah, it should be actually right where the pole is. If your pole is in the center of your walls, I know some people have some of their walls off a little bit, but
Okay.
yeah. Okay, we've got to set up a light source object, and then the 2 switches that we use to turn the light on and off. So I'm back over here at the light demo, which is the best place to be if you want to figure out what you can do next. But what you're going to want to do is duplicate your pole again. Like I said, it's good to keep your pole in the center because we're making lots of objects. Duplicate your pole, and then of course move it forward so it's back exactly where the original pole is, and change that model to a Snack 01, Snack 01, I'm sorry, Snack 01. Yeah, I figured, Jordy, yours would work. So you got a Snack 01 in the middle of your, well, it's on the ground. What you're going to want to do is click it up about 3 or 5 clicks. Don't click it 4 because then it would be right where the Z or the Z is, and then you won't be able to click it. So click it up 3 or 5 clicks so it's above or below the Z. And then you're going to have to put this in the action box. I'm going to put it in the chat, but it's also on this sign over here. Oh, here it is. So your light object should have this in it. I just typed it in the chat in 3DU. Type in create solid no, because you don't want anybody to get stopped by it and bump into it. And make it also comma visible no, because you don't want anybody to see that thing hanging in the middle of the air. And then comma name R1. Make sure you make it R1, because R1 is used in the other codes, so if they don't match, they won't work. So you lost me. Okay, somebody lost me. Go to the middle of your room and duplicate the pole and make a Snack 01 into your duplicate. So you've got a Snack 01 object in your pole there. Then move it up in the air about 3 clicks. Make sure it's not intersecting with the Z. And then when you've got your Snack 01, then type this. I just typed it in the chat again. Type that in the action box of the Z. Of the Snack 01. We'll talk about that in a minute. We haven't gotten to the switches yet. So make sure that you've got an invisible and non-solid snack01 object in the middle of your room and click it up about 3 clicks, okay? And then put that create solid no, comma, visible no, comma, name R1. We need to have name R1 in there because when we do the switches, we're going to activate light, and then we're going to say name equals R1, so the light comes from the object in the middle of the room, and the light emanates out from the center. How's everybody doing? Does everybody have a snack01 in the center of their room with the programming that I put in chat? And you can always go back over to the demo on the other side of this wall. Everything you need to know that goes in is right on these signs. What does the snack01 look like? I think it's just a flat panel of a old photograph of a bowl of potato chips, I think. Something like that.
Okay, good, because I thought I had the wrong thing.
Yeah, I just use it to make trigger objects like these. So get that snack01 going in your middle of your room. Okay, what's not happening, Ashley? Well, you're not going to see it because it's got visible off in it. So you won't see it, but then if you right-click the wall, then you'll see it, just like zones and that kind of thing. So, yeah, so I see them. It's all the way down the ground. Now, you need to click that up. You need to right-click and then right-click the little edges that stick out from your pole of the snack. Click it up about 3 clicks. That's so the light emanates from the center, because the light is going to come from that object.
Where do you type the snack 01?
You duplicate the pole and then type snack 01. It's just another object name up in the model box. See, snack 01 is just, it's another object like pole 01.
And that's the pole, inside of our lots.
Right. Duplicate that pole and then change that duplicate to a snack 01.
And that's in the model box that you put
Right,
snack
in the model
01.
box. Mhm. Well, we've only really have one more step to do. This is working out pretty good. Don't let yourself fall behind, guys, in this lesson. If you're still having problems trying to get your zone or your snack 01 going, tell me now. Don't fall too far behind.
I have a snack 01 in my box, but I don't have the trigger programming.
Okay, we're getting to that right now. We're going right now. So
Yay!
now your snack 01, do you have your create solid no, visible no, and name R1 in it? You got to have that programming in your snack 01. That's going to be your light object.
Oh, and you put the create solid, no visible, no name, R1 in the action box?
In the action box of the snack object, correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So make sure and if your snack object's on the ground, just click it up about 3 clicks so it's near the center of your room so the light emanates properly. And make sure you got use create solid no. Okay. One more thing we're going to do is we're going to put 2 different light switches inside of your room, and they just need to be up against one wall. And if you come over here, I've got what the on switch and what the off switch has to have in them. Now the switch that you're going to use for the on switch is called, and I'm just going to do it once because I'm not just keep doing this over and over, because you can always come over here and see. You're going to want to duplicate one of your walls inside and then just click it back, click it back, and then just hold down shift and click it inside, just one shift click, so it's just inside your wall. That's the first one. Now that is not a capital I. That is a lowercase l. The name of that object is L switch D. So you're going to want to copy one of your walls, move it back to the original wall, and then just shift click inside the wall, and then change the model name to L switch D. And then after you've got that, then copy that L switch D, and then make the second copy L switch U.
I can't seem like I'm duplicating my pull inside the lot,
Uh-huh.
and I can't seem to what do you call it again? The action thing to work for the create solid no visible thing.
You don't, when you right click your snack object, you don't see an action box? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You don't see an action box. Okay. Then probably what you've done is you've closed the object tree. If you right click it, anything actually, just right click anything. Right near the top left there's a red, it says red, in red text, object. You see that?
Object.
It's in red text. It's right directly underneath where it says type. But you have to right click an object to see it. You got to look at the object properties box.
Oh, I see. Object, zone, particle emitter, mover, camera.
Okay, no. What I'm talking about is where it says object in red text to the left of that. You see where it says object in red text, not black text, but red? See where it says object?
Object.
Right below type. Directly below type, it should say object in red text.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Okay, is there a plus next to it?
No, there's a
minus?
model and an action. Oh, yeah, there's a minus beside it.
Okay, so right below model is description, and right below description is action. You don't see the action box there?
Oh, no, I do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, there's where the action box is then. So type in that create solid no, visible no, and name R1. Make sure you put a comma between those three. That's where that goes.
Okay. And then so the snack 01 goes in the model, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you just X out of the object properties,
Right. Make sure you click your snack 01 3 clicks up, because you don't want it sitting directly on the ground. You want it, wait. Okay, now, so has everybody been able to right-click one of their walls and make these two switch objects? If you have not, and I know, Carter, you're catching up, so you don't have to say so, but if you don't have two light switches on the inside of your wall yet, yes, two. There's two separate light switch names. There's L switch D and L switch U. Make one of each on the inside of one of your walls of those two switches. And you know, if you're not sure, you can always come right over here where this demo is, and every single thing that you need in every single model, and the names of the models are all on these three signs right here. Easy to do, stand right there and say, oh, okay, that's right, that's the model I use.
Every single time I turn the switch, it disappears.
Correct. You have to have them both up on the wall first. Then you put the programming in both of them. We haven't talked about that yet, but we'll have the separate programming in both of them. It's different programming for the two different switches.
So I need to have the is switch U and is switch D? I have to have both of them?
You have to have one of each. That's correct. So you'll have two switch objects on your wall. One will be L switch D and one will be L switch U. And then after you've got your two switches on the wall,
Okay.
the last thing you got to do, and you really should come over to these signs because it's a lot to copy. I'll put it in the chat if you want, but you might want to just come over here and maybe right-click these signs and just copy it out directly yourself.
Okay.
So, okay. So for L switch D, you're going to want to put all of this stuff in here. I'm going to type it in chat. That's for L switch D, the first one. And then the second one has a little bit more. This is for L switch U. You want to type all of this stuff in the action box. Come over to the sign and look. I'm not going to repeat it. Like I said, just come over to the signs over here and you'll see exactly what it tells you to put in the action boxes for both switches.
Now I know which one's going what now, though. Thank you.
Alrighty. So how's everybody doing? Shout out if you're scratching your head over something still. I'm going to go around and start clicking on switches. The switches that you've got in here, Joshua, you're going to want to right-click them and just hold down Shift and click them inside your wall. One more Shift click, because all you can see is the little bitty tiny switch. So you're going to want to
Do they want to be right on top of each other?
eventually, but let's get them all working first, and then we'll do that. That'll be the last thing. So just, you know, Joshua, you just, yeah, there you go. So.
Yeah. One thing problem that I had, Scott, is that when I created the objects, they were on the particular wall that I created them on. I guess I was facing, I was on the west-facing wall, and so the switches were facing west as well. And I'm thinking that if I'd put them on the east wall, they would have been facing, the switches would have been facing west, and so it would have been okay.
Yeah, you can just turn them.
Yeah,
just right-click them and click them 12 clicks in the Y-axis.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now, but it was a little bit unexpected the first time.
Yeah, those switches are hard to tell which is the switch side and which is the back side that you don't see.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically what you're doing, guys, is just putting the objects in that we call for on these signs, and then just copying the action that's listed in their description boxes and put them in the action boxes of those objects, and everything should work. I'm trying to force you guys to learn how to right-click on objects that work and highlight and copy their working action and put them in your own objects. I've been taking care of that, Jordy. Yeah, I've been taking care of that every week. Don't worry.
When I put the coding in onto the switches, they disappear after.
Okay, only one should disappear. If they both disappear, then you're putting the same code in both, and you need the two switches actually have different coding. One should disappear, but one should stay visible. So if they both disappeared, you put the same code in both of them, which you need to go back and find the code for the other switch. To everybody else, if you've programmed your switches on the wall with the right code in the right switches, then just click the switch that's visible and your light will come on. And when you click the other switch that becomes visible, you click that one and they'll get dark again.
Do you see his snack? Because I think it's visible. I think it's invisible.
Yeah, you have to right-click on the wall first, face the pole, right-click the wall first, and then you'll see the invisible. It's actually on. I'll tell you what. I'll help. I'm gonna move your move it up for you.
And it looks a
1,
little
2,
bit like
3.
a bag of popcorn.
Yeah, that's okay. He's got them here. I'm just trying to get things going here a little faster. So I went ahead and I moved his Z and his snack in the right place. Now, if he right-clicks the pole and then right-click on the Z, you need to add color. There's one option that left off.
Oh,
So
okay.
right-click a wall, then right-click the Z, and then you're going to have to use the scroll bar along the right of that pop-up box. Scroll down till you see where it says color. And then right next to color, there's a little box that's white.
Okay.
Are you there yet?
Right click a wall. Okay, and then right click a wall and then I see the Z.
Now right-click the Z.
Okay.
Now use the little scroll bar on the side of that pop-up box to scroll down. It's on the
Okay.
right side till
I
you
see.
see where it says color.
Well, yeah, I'm there.
It's not even spelled right, but it's color. Then click the white square next to it,
Okay.
and now you'll get a little color picker thing that comes up.
Yeah.
Choose the medium gray on the bottom row in the center of all the little buttons there.
Okay.
Choose that gray, and when that gray, once you've clicked that, then just go ahead and close the Z box. And now it got dark. Now you're dark in here.
Yeah.
I can hang on here. I want to just touch base with everybody else. Can everybody else walk into their room now and click on a switch and have the light come on? Yeah, I'll look at all the extracurricular stuff later. I need to get everybody on the same page first.
Which programming was I supposed to use for turning the lights on?
Okay, I'm going to show you where the signs are with all the programming in, because I'm not going to type it into the chat anymore. You need to put a second switch. Right now you've got L switch D.
I have both.
Okay, I'm looking, but I only see one switch so far.
So, Daryl, you might have only seen one switch because you had one of your switches out the back side. So I've just fixed that. So you should be able to see both switches. Well, you'll see one switch, but as you turn it on, as you click it, you'll see the other one will come up. And now it's just a matter of the programming.
Just so everybody knows, if you've got two switches in your room and you click it and the light comes on, and then the other one comes in and you click it, the light goes off, you're done for class. You can leave.
Okay, somehow I just got rid of one of Carter's walls.
That's
Okay. Yeah. I think probably what you did is you
mother's
didn't
tearing
duplicate it.
down the house.
You just changed it, the wall into the object. So that's what you did. Yeah. You didn't duplicate it. You have to right click and then click the duplicate button to make a second copy of the wall, and then move the wall in and change the model to, what were you changing it to? I don't even know.
The switch.
And Daryl's, yours is working really well now. Is there anybody else that would like me to drop by their place?
So right click on the switch.
Right click on the switch and then click duplicate,
Okay.
and then move that copy, move it back so it's even with the original, and then move it left or right a couple of clicks. And then in the model box, after you've moved your duplicate switch, change the D on the end to a U. So it'll say L switch U instead of L switch D.
Okay, and keep the action the same?
No, you'll have to go back over to the line, over to the signs, and find the proper action for L switch D or L switch U. Because you've got L switch D program, okay, but L switch U has to have different programming in it.
Okay, and where does he find the L switch U programming?
Okay, back here behind this stone wall in the back of the lots back here,
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's this big wall, just shift through it, hold shift and go through it, and the demo's right here.
Okay.
And then when they're both when they both have the right programming in them, the L switch U will disappear. You won't see it because it's made to be invisible at first. And then when you click the visible L switch D, then you'll see the U and the light will come on, and yay.
Okay, so L switch D makes it come on then, so you can see what you're doing.
Right. L switch D turns on the light, and it also makes itself invisible, and it makes the second switch visible. And then when you click the second switch, it goes dark, and it goes visible, and then the original turn on switch becomes visible again. It's just it kind of rotates through the animation.
My light switch works.
Oh, super.
Okay, like I said, if your light switch works, you're done. Sorry about the extended time. It happens.
That's okay. Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah, when-
Doodles!